So today's episode is very special for me and really excited for it because my first ever guest is my favorite professor from my grad school. I hope you guys enjoy watching this. Thank you. Hi, people. So, this is Professor Bob Cargill, and I took his class in like 2024. The class was Social Media and Brand Strategy. We had amazing assignments, and I think the final assignment was on personal branding. And we really, I think all of us just enjoy doing personal branding presentations, and we just had like a little spark that everyone is going to do personal branding, but I think people just are too scared. Like, I am personally very scared to start content creator because I'm, first of all, camera conscious, and sometimes I just love to talk and I talk a lot. Everyone says that. But I think it's time to just start doing personal branding. So this is my first episode with Professor Bob Cargill, and he's going to tell you about himself, and then we can go through the personal branding stuff.
That can be a short, Yatra, you're so awesome, ridiculously awesome for having me as your guest, and that can be a very short answer. I don't have to talk much about myself, except I right out of grad school, early '80s, I was in marketing. My very first job, RCA Direct Marketing as a copywriter, and you know what I'm doing now. I'm a professor at three different schools teaching social media marketing and business, past president of AMA Boston. I was president for two-year terms, and I've done a lot, and over 40 years in marketing. But I have loved every chapter of my book, if you will, and I especially was enamored with the internet when with its emergence, and I embraced social media, and I'm loving AI now too. So from beginning up until this time, I just have had a great passion for what I do. So thank you for having me on your show today.
Thank you so much. So, we're going to start with now everyone knows who you are. So, I'm just going to ask you a few questions and we can just discuss. So, how do you describe the intersection of your life as an educator and a content creator to the people who are watching?
Yeah, it's a good question, and so I feel that it's important to practice what one preaches, and I've always loved communications. That was actually my major as an undergrad was communications in English, and then my master's degree was television and radio. Uh, my point is I've always loved communicating and bringing people together and connecting and relationships. And so as a content creator, I mean, I've been doing that my whole career. As a copywriter, that was content creation. I was content creator since the very beginning as a writer, as a creative director, and then again with social media, as a social media director. I try to integrate into my teaching, my curriculum, a lot of my own work. So I have videos. I have over 1,100 videos on YouTube, and I can use them in my lessons as learning materials. And so I always think when I'm doing some of my social that how can I use this in the classroom or even in advance, planning to do some social that I can then share with my students. So it's practicing what I preach. It also helps me connect very, very much with my students because I do all that social and they're on social. I'm on social. We get to know each other better, and when you know each other, you have a greater bond, and therefore I feel I can connect with them and them with me. So yeah, that I hope that answers your question.
Yes, yes, it absolutely does. And we had the best course syllabus because we learned a lot through like 12 weeks. So it was all your original work and then your book. So we had great assignments. So yeah. So the second thing is, what is that one fundamental truth about marketing that hasn't changed yet in 2026, despite all the new tools we have right now?
I would tough question because there's quite a few ways I could go with my answer, but I'll say this fundamentally, practically speaking, marketing should be helping your audience, helping people solve problems, meaning helping them buy, not necessarily selling to them, but helping them buy the right products and services that they need and want. So it should be targeted and timely and providing value.
Right.
And it's an exchange of value. What does the customer want? A good time at Fenway Park watching the Red Sox. So it's always fun going to Fenway Park. So the marketing is Fenway Park, the Boston Red Sox reaching out to their prospective fans and customers and selling tickets. That's an exchange of value. I
Right.
Red Sox, I pay a certain amount of money. They benefit. I have a good time. Win or lose, I have a good time as a patron, a fan in the stands at Fenway Park. So that's the practical. The something that is really big nowadays is trust. It always has been, but more than ever, there's a lack of trust in society, in this country, in this world, I suppose, and certainly from a marketing standpoint, from an advertising standpoint, sales standpoint, business standpoint, you
Right.
need your customers, your constituents to trust you. So transparency, honesty, character, integrity, showing yourself for who you are is so important as a brand, a corporate brand, or as a personal brand. So solving people's problems, that's what you want to be doing as a marketer and earning people's trust. And that's the only way you're going to be able to help them buy your products and services and grow your business.
Absolutely. I'm so motivated right now. Okay. So we often hear that personal branding is optional. I don't think that a lot of marketers do their personal branding because they are just behind their laptops and, just doing engagement and stuff. But as a digital marketer in 2026, is it actually a survival skill? Like, is it important to have a personal brand?
Yeah, I think to thrive, not just survive, you need to be out there on social. I mean, again, my career goes back so far. I mean, 20 or plus years of my career wasn't necessarily, on the internet, pre-internet days. Since the internet, let's say 20, 25 more years have passed and many more years ahead of me and even more ahead of me with technology.
Yeah,
And we have to show the human side of our businesses and
perfect.
brands and ourselves. And so using social to put yourselves out there, listen, it goes back to my other answer. It helps you earn trust. People see you, they hear you, they
Absolutely.
get to know you, they're going to trust you. So personal brand and also separating yourself from the competition. If you're looking for a job as a college student, all those hundreds of resumes that go to a potential employer, it's easy to get lost in the shuffle, fall between the cracks. So you want to stand out, connect with people, and you can't be in that many places yourself in person. So put yourself all over social. You
Yeah.
never know where someone's going to find you, see you, connect with you, and that's going to be your foot in the door at that potential new job.
Perfect. Guys, you should follow him. He makes amazing content and you would really enjoy it. You should follow him on socials like Instagram, LinkedIn, and I think you're on YouTube as well, Professor.
Yeah, Yatra, I'm on TikTok. I do
Yeah.
it. Yes, I could use more followers there.
Yeah,
So
of course. Yeah, yes, please. So the most important question is, what is your take on AI and marketing? Because I took like a LinkedIn AI class, I mean a course, and it taught me a lot of things like how to do ChatGPT prompting and stuff. Like because you always need that human side, even if you have that AI answer, right? You have to put that human salt on the dish. So what is your take on AI and marketing?
I love AI. Like I loved social and the internet in general from the beginning. I love AI, but it is a double-edged sword, if you will. Meaning it's artificial intelligence, and we don't want it to replace our
Right.
actual intelligence. I talk about trust. That could be a common thread, I guess, in our conversation today. And with AI, if there's too much automation and too much of what you're putting out there is synthetic, is not necessarily human, you're going to lose the trust and faith of your audience in you.
Right.
They will be able to detect that slop. That's what we call AI when it's instantly detectable and very generic and redundant and similar to everybody else's content. So use AI to do things better, to do things quicker. I do myself. Embrace it. it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay, and who knows where it's going to go, and who knows
Yeah,
what technologies will follow. Don't fall dangerously far behind. Embrace it, but make it a partner. Make it work for you. Make it help you. Be better at what you do, quicker at what you do things more
right.
inexpensively. And heck, my blog that I've been writing since 2004. I used to hire designers maybe to create design or get stock photos, and now I can use AI to create an image. That's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I use a lot of AI for, creating images. You have Nano Banana, Gemini, and I
Yeah.
think we have student discount. Like for a year, you get free Gemini AI. So I have that free version myself. But yeah, this is what it is. Like people just use AI like anything, and it cannot replace human intelligence, as you said, of course.
But you know what, Yatra? It's also misunderstood. People think it's a shortcut and easy to use, and it's going to make us all superhuman. But it takes a lot of time to learn how to use AI well
Yeah,
and use
yeah.
it so that people don't automatically detect it. And I had a friend. It was actually just last night, and we were talking about where I was at a mentorship program for higher
Right.
educational institutions in town, and he was telling me about he does a lot of AI for his clients, and he said, there's kind of a backlash right now because there's too much of it out there,
Mhm.
and you can't tell what's real, what's not,
Yeah.
what's automated, what's organic. So he said the human, element is still as important as ever.
Right. Of course. Yes. I won't be shocked if people, walk on the streets with robot instead of pets, in the next 10 years. It's just gonna be crazy.
We are going to see that. We're going to see robot assistants. I joke, and I don't want this to happen. I'm a professor, and geez,
Yeah.
robot professors, students could have robot proxies.
Oh
I've
my
read
God.
potential future where we have robots representing us. Anything is possible, and
It
I've
is
seen that
absolutely.
already with a past client. They had stand up. It was almost like a robot. When they employees would work remotely, they
Mhm.
had stand up um, on wheels with video of that person wherever they were located, and that person could attend a meeting.
Oh
But
my God.
it was really
That is crazy.
and futuristic and see
The
what
futuristic office, you mean? It's like something like that, right? Like,
it's almost like we could be having this conversation. We use AI, and you can do a lot of this already. It's scary. Is our clone, and it
yeah.
represents us while we're out, grocery shopping or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's my take. I think AI shouldn't replace the education part, but it should do our laundry and our grocery shopping for us. That would be a better word for everyone. Save a lot of time, and people would be more educated.
Yeah, sure. You're exactly right. Have it do the redundant, the mechanical, the trivial. I could go on, and we should do bigger and better things. The stuff that
Yeah,
we are so capable of doing as humans.
absolutely. Yes. So this takes to our next question. What is that one question you wish people would ask you more often about social media as a professor and as a content creator both? So,
Yes. So again, I could go in different directions with this. We don't have like hours. We have, we have rather minutes, if you will. Not that we're in any rush, but let me say that I wish there was more buzz about social media. I think the headlines are always talking about what's negative, what the downside, how you can become addicted to social media, or I don't even like saying the word, but the hate out there on social media, all
yeah.
the negativity, all the AI. Speaking of AI, fake news and videos that, someone like my 94-year-old mother, if she were looking, she wouldn't be able to tell if it's real or not. And that's
Yeah.
can be fraudulent, if you will. So I wish there was more. So there is that downside, but that seems to be all that's covered. So I wish people would ask me or talk about all the good things out there with regard to social media, how it brings people together, how it helps nonprofits raise funds, how
Yeah.
celebrities, media, athletes, you and me, can connect and stay in touch. And we may not again be we can't. It's not possible to be everywhere at once, but it actually is
Yeah.
virtually when you use social.
Mhm.
So there's so many good things about social. And I wish people would look beyond the headlines and practice and experience it for themselves and realize that, wow, if I learn how to do it, I can do it well. And I could, lift people's spirits using social. Does
Yeah.
that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does absolutely because I am like it's 7 years in social media now, and I just need motivation to do new things in social media. And I think every day I learn something new. Maybe if I'm reading a marketing book or I'm watching some video, I mean, you just get to learn a lot of new things each day. And right now, like while we are having a conversation, I'm learning a lot of new things. So I think social media is all about growing and learning more and more stuff because it's just gonna like change. New trends are going to come. It's never going to stop. So it's on person to person how they take it and how they ask questions about social media. So yeah.
And you know what, Yatra, what you just said, you personally, as a human being, as a professional, aspiring professional, rock star.
Yes, of course. I cannot forget this. I always like people, you are a rock star. That's what my professor says.
Rock star. Social media helps you put yourself out there as that rock star, and
Yeah,
you are a double threat. And I'll explain. You can do great work and be a great human being, and you can also talk about it and share who you are on video. Get behind a microphone like I have here and speak.
you're right.
Skills and talents that not everybody has. So if someone in the workforce, on the job, in the workforce, as an employee, can do great work for their employer, else can talk about it and spread the word and is comfortable, like I said, behind a mic, in front of a camera,
Right.
that makes you a double threat. That makes you very, very powerful. And you mentioned earlier, you're learning too. You're listening to so many others. So it's like a extension of yourself, and exponentially, it's making you that much more powerful, that much more valued to your employer, of value to your employer.
Okay, now we have the last question. So, finally, for students and all the junior marketers watching, what is the best advice for staying consistent, even if the initial buzz of like if the initial buzz wears off? So, people just start it off and they're just so excited. But then when the initial buzz just wears off, they just be like, oh, I think I can't do it anymore. I'm not getting more likes, I'm not getting more comments. So, what is your one advice to such kind of people?
Yeah, I'm a runner and I run marathons. I'm running my 24th marathon this spring in April. And so I'll equate it to long distance running. I've been running since I was my dad's old school expression, knee high to a grasshopper. That just means since I was little, I've been running.
Yeah. Mhm.
And a long time ago did I start, and it's one step in front of another, and you don't stop. And think of it as infinite. There is no necessarily finish line. It's an extension of who you are. If you just go out there and take put a few posts out or go on just one social media channel, it's not really going to pay off. You got to stick with it. You got to be in it for the long haul. I like to say be conspicuous in your presence on social media. The more people who see you, hear from you, they get to know you, they like you, they respect you, you earn their
Absolutely.
trust, yeah, and you get hired, or you help people, buy your products and services, so you become more successful, or you spread the good word, positivity, motivation, inspiration. Work through the dip. There was a book I read years ago. I think it was Chris Brogan was the author, called the dip, and I had a blog post I wrote. Push through the social media dip. The dip, he said, was generally speaking when people often will give up. They're high up here and then they're down here and they give
Right.
up. It's
Mhm.
okay if it's not for you, and it's not paying off, and you've learned I can't do this. But ideally, if you want to do it and you want a payoff, push through that dip and you'll rise and before you know it, again and again and again, succeed again and again and again in a big, big, big way.
This was a good advice for me personally because I am like that, I'm just like, oh, I'm doing it good. And then if I stop getting comments and likes, I'm like, oh my God, should I just still do it? Do people recognize me or, something like that? But this
That's
kind of motivated me.
tell you how many times people, who I don't know are seeing my content when I see them in person say, I love your videos or I saw you do this on social.
Yeah,
It it's a great way of your reputation preceding you if you when you go to meetings, when you go for an interview, and again for companies. We think no one's watching or looking or hearing us, but they are, whether they're liking it or not. And again, it makes us, I feel, better people, better professionals, because we're on social, we're sharing, we're helping others, we're listening. So that means we're learning.
yeah.
So many benefits. People don't realize if they're not using it, the multitude of benefits to using social media.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Everything just helped a lot. And everyone should just come on, just get social and throw yourself out on social media. Everything's going to work out. And thank you so much for coming and just teaching me more and more stuff because those 12 weeks were great. And thank you so much.
Yeah, Trey, you have everything that I believe with regard to people, you're a quality human being and positive and smart and a rock star, as I
Thank you.
like to say about all the special people in my life, and you're one of them. And I wanted to say, social has kept us in touch, and people should realize that.
Absolutely.
I haven't seen you, I don't think, in person since you were in my classroom,
Yeah.
and but we
I just attended like one AMA marketing networking. So I think I met you there, but I don't think after that I couldn't just meet you.
proud of and
Yeah.
we didn't necessarily have a chance to have an intimate, one-on-one conversation.
Yes.
Just saying we stay in touch through social media and we say positive things. We do things like what you're doing right here, asking me to talk to you,
Yeah.
via Zoom, and you're going to put it out there on social. This is how we use social. So I would say to everybody, be like Yatra, rock star like Yatra. She's a special human being, quality, and she's ridiculously awesome. And I thank you very, very much, Yatra.
Thank you. Thank you. You have a good day. Thank you, Professor. See you. See you soon.